If someone were to ask me what's the most invisible crisis people face after 50, I'd probably say relationships. Not the dramatic soap opera kind of stuff, but the quiet kind. The kind where you begin to feel that you're slowly disappearing from people's lives. I'm Sanjay, and today we're going to talk about relationships. In our 50s and 60s, a lot is shifting. Careers change, children leave home, parents grow old or pass away. And if you're surrounded by people, something often feels missing. Have you ever sat in a room full of people, even family, and felt strangely invisible? It's not that they don't love you, it's that the frequency has changed. The rhythm of relationships shifts in this stage. And if we don't notice it consciously, we can end up feeling left behind. Let's begin with long term marriage. That relationship, which started with romance and passed through parenting and partnership, often finds itself standing in silence now. No kids to raise, no crises to manage, no packed schedules to navigate, just two people in a house with time. That can be beautiful or very lonely. And sometimes it's both in the same day. You sit down for breakfast and realize we haven't really talked in weeks. Just logistics, medicines, groceries, bills. It's almost like you're coexisting but not really connecting. But I know couples who found a second wind. One friend, Anil, told me that after retirement, he and his wife began weekly dates again, going to the movies, walks, old favorite restaurants. We're not trying to relive our youth, he said. We're just finally having uninterrupted conversations. That line really stayed with me. Uninterrupted conversations. Because in our younger years, we rarely got those. Between parenting, jobs, responsibilities, conversations get chopped into 5-minute bursts. But now we finally have time. And what we do with that time makes all the difference. Then there's friendship. Remember when we were younger, friends just happened at college, in offices, through your kids' school. Now, if you move back to a city you haven't lived in for years or leave a job, suddenly the friendships vanish too. Rebuilding a social circle at 55 is harder than we admit. It's almost like the scaffolding is gone. Earlier, friendship was the byproduct of routine. You saw each other every day. You didn't need to plan connection. Now, making a new friend almost feels like dating, awkward, uncertain, and a little scary. Another friend, Priya, moved back to Pune after 25 years in the Gulf. She is close to retirement, but realized she doesn't know anyone beyond her cousin and the shopkeeper. How do I make friends now? She asked me once. There's no classroom, no office, no playgroup for my kids. And that's a real raw question. How do we make friends now? Is there a space that welcomes 60-year-olds the way schools welcome 6-year-olds? Not really. Which is why we have to create those spaces consciously. A morning walk group, a reading club, even a weekly chai catch up with neighbors. Small things but powerful. And what about companionship? I know people, successful, kind, warm people, who chose to remain single while they worked hard all their lives. But now, as they slow down, they come home to silence. Some have lost partners, some went through divorce, and now they wonder, is it too late to find someone new? It's such a tender question, isn't it? One that's often unspoken. We're told that love is for the young, that companionship belongs to 20 somethings. But why? Why should age steal our longing for connection? Truth is, dating in your 50s or 60s isn't exactly easy. You're not on dating apps, you carry emotional history, you're cautious, vulnerable. But it's not impossible. I have seen stories that started over art classes, walking groups, even book clubs. The heart doesn't retire at 60. I once met a couple in their late 60s who met through a laughter yoga group. They weren't looking for anything romantic, but connection finds its way when we stay open. They told me, we're not trying to fill a gap, we're just enjoying each other's company without pressure. That's what companionship can look like in the second half: light, kind, healing. Let's not forget adult children. That's a tricky one. You want to be close but not overbearing, available but not always waiting. It's a dance. Sometimes you feel left out. Sometimes you realize they're figuring their own lives and you need to do the same. It's like they've taken flight and we're still standing at the airport. Do we keep calling? Do we wait for them to call? As somewhere in the silence, we begin to doubt our place in their lives. But maybe, just maybe, this is the time to discover our lives too. And finally, the relationship with yourself, perhaps the most neglected one. Who are you really when you're not defined by your work or your parenting role or your family expectations? Can you be alone without being lonely? Can you reinvent your sense of self? I know someone who took up painting at 62, another who went on a solo trip to Rishikesh at 58. They weren't trying to escape, they were trying to meet themselves again. And I find that deeply inspiring because the most important conversation you'll have in your second half is the one with yourself. This isn't easy, but it's essential because the next 25-30 years are not just about existing, they're about meaning, connection, fulfillment. So ask yourself, who am I still becoming? Not who I was, but who can I still be? That shift from memory to possibility can change your entire perspective on relationships. And so, I'm not here to give all the answers, but I do want to raise the questions. And I want to hear from you too. What are you feeling? What are you going through? Let's talk about it in this safe space, week after week. Until next time, stay open, stay hopeful, and remember, it's never too late to build relationships that matter.